Hello, Nancy. I see you've arrived safely from your long journey. But I'm sensing an aura of danger around you. I can tell you're an inquisitive type, a little skeptical, and that you don't believe in ghosts. The spirits wish to speak to you, Nancy. Tonight, I will channel their energies to deliver a message. Meet me down in the basement, if you dare. I hope you're convinced now that the spirits are with us. These ghosts are here to stay. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. I can't believe we had a fire. I can't believe it. I bet Charlie was down there before it started. Hello. You look kind of tired. Maybe it's time to get some sleep. I know many things. I know how to communicate with the spirits, and I know things about people that they don't tell me. Call it intuition or ESP. The spirits in this house are interested in you, especially since you don't believe in them. Watch out. They may give you a rough time just to get your attention. Do you dare mock the supernatural? Just bear in mind what I've told you about this place. Spirits of the deceased can do unimaginable harm, especially to those who don't believe. I sense a very strong but restless spirit within these walls, and a restless spirit can soon become an angry spirit. I'm not sure, but for some reason the name Valdez has a strong connection with this mansion. Now, if you will please excuse me, I need to prepare myself for this evening. At that time, more will be revealed. Now, if you will please excuse me, I need to prepare myself for this evening. At that time, more will be revealed. Spirits are notoriously stubborn. Perhaps you offended him. Isn't it obvious? Senor Valdez and his wife, long-lost soulmates, wandering aimlessly in the netherworld, returning to this house to search for each other. I only hope that one day I will be able to reunite them so that they may find peace. Because he's always around at the scene of these accidents. I told Rose to fire him, but she won't listen to me. You mean, why would someone want to destroy the house and you know what? I can think of a million reasons why. Never mind, it doesn't concern you. Okay, so I staged part of the seance. But that still doesn't mean this place isn't haunted. Seances were very popular during the Victorian era, and I plan to entertain our guests with them. It'll be a great way to promote the place. Of course not! I've had nothing to do with these accidents. They cost us both time and money. If you want to find out who's behind the accidents, ask our resident handyman. There's more to this house than you think, Nancy. You probably don't believe me, and with good reason, I admit it. But there are some mysteries in life best left unsolved. Ugh, it's clear to me that Charlie's totally responsible for the accidents. Who else could it have been? He's a really nice kid, but he has no idea what he's doing. Unfortunately, Rose doesn't want to fire him. And there's something suspicious about him. Oh, I love that poem. Listen, my child, to this story of dreams. How does the rest go? It was there when we bought the place. He owns Chandler Interiors, a very reputable antique store. I'm sure his clients will be quite interested in our bed and breakfast once they hear about our resident ghost. A couple of years. She has good business sense, but I think she needs to think more about advertising. Otherwise, we're just like all the other B&Bs in this town, and believe me, there's plenty of them. Right in my room, they're so vintage. I'm going to ask Louis if he can get me some antique frames for them. Rose and I can use the letters in our historical display. Yes, they're very popular in bed and breakfasts. They usually contain old photographs, letters, documents, things like that. I told you the spirits were interested in you. Was it a woman crying? It must be one of our phantom residents. Well, it wasn't me crying out there. Gumbo foo? I love gumbo. What kind of gumbo is gumbo foo? I did find this old picture of a woman dressed in men's clothing. I think it was taken in the entryway by the staircase. I sent it to a photographer to have it restored. And so it is, I admit it. But I had you fooled there, didn't I? If I can fool Nancy Drew, I'm sure I'll be able to fool even our most skeptical guests. For the publicity. But I really do think there's something going on in this house. I really believe it's haunted. I'm just enhancing the spectral experience. Yes, I'm sure. I've been very careful with everything. I'm not sure. He said he's between apartments. I think he said he's staying with friends until he can find a place of his own. I don't know. You might want to ask Rose. He doesn't talk much about his private life. Not for San Francisco. Rents are really high, and there are so many kids thinking they can find cheap housing out here. It's sad to say, but a lot of them end up on the streets. The other day, I was down in the basement working for over an hour, and suddenly he sneaks up on me. I bet he was down there the whole time, watching me. There were a lot of pieces and knickknacks left behind, like the books in the study, your bed. I think it was too large to take out of the room. I don't think so. I really didn't go through them that much. I once read that some women back then liked the freedom men's clothing gave them since their lives were so restricted. A man could go anywhere and do almost anything. A woman couldn't. Ask Charlie. I'm sure he's lost it again. No, I haven't. How strange. No, I don't. Sorry. I don't remember anything else. Bye. See you later. Ta-ta for now. Bright blessings. Have a celestial day. Pax vobiscum. Bye-bye. Nancy, get out of my room! Rose! Rose! Let us join hands, creating an unbroken circle for the spirits to enter. Creating an unbroken circle, let us join hands. We are gathered here tonight to contact the shades of those who have passed before us. A presence wishes to be known.
Who has called me forth from the great beyond?
We have. Are you the spirit known as Valdez?
I was once called that in the world of the living.
Are you the spirit who has caused these accidents? A long time ago, I built this house for my beautiful wife, but sailed home to Spain before it was finished and never returned. But now I have come back searching for her, my wife. Where can she be? Oh! 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 It will answer all of our questions. Let us begin. Gaze into the crystal ball. Please sit down. Please sit down.
We really don't have time for this.
Are you the spirit who has caused these accidents? We will ask for another message. The spirits have finished. The seance is over. The spirits have spoken.
Hello?
Hi, Bess. It's Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. George is here. Let me put her on the speakerphone.
Nancy?
Hi, George.
Hey, what's up?
I'm in San Francisco, helping a friend of Hannah's renovate an old Victorian mansion. She wants to open up a bed and breakfast. Unfortunately, some strange accidents have delayed the project.
Uh-oh.
Bess Marvin's room. How may I help you?
Hi, George.
Hi, Nancy. How are things going? Hello?
Hello, it's me.
Hi, Nancy. How's the case coming along?
Get this. One of the owners, Abby, thinks the place is haunted by a ghost named Valdez.
A ghost? Well, I'm glad I'm not out there. This is Bess.
And George.
Hello, you two.
Hi, Nancy. How are you? Hello?
Hi, Bess.
What's up?
You'll never believe this, but things have gotten even more complicated. I found some clues that there might be buried treasure in the house.
Wow.
Oh, Nancy. It sounds like you've got a real case on your hands. How can we help? Hello?
Hi, Bess.
Hello? What's new?
Hello? Hi, Bess.
Oh, what time is it? Nancy, it's way past my bedtime. Give me a call in the morning.
You'll never believe this, but things have gotten even more complicated. I found some clues that there might be buried treasure in the house.
Wow.
Oh, Nancy. It sounds like you've got a real case on your hands. How can we help?
Sounds like you've got another case on your hands. Have you asked everybody about these accidents?
Not yet, but I will. So, what are you two up to?
Well, speaking of renovations, George is redecorating her room and staying with me till it's done.
But we haven't had any accidents.
Except when you spilled the soda all over the carpet.
Okay, but it wasn't very unusual.
Well, get this. One of the owners, Abby, thinks the place is haunted by a ghost named Valdez.
A ghost? Well, I'm glad I'm not out there.
Sounds like another case is in the works.
A ghost? Well, I'm glad I'm not out there.
Sounds like you've got another case on your hands. Have you asked everybody about these accidents?
But now things have gotten a bit more complicated. I found some clues that suggest that there might be buried treasure in the house.
Wow.
Oh, Nancy, this sounds so exciting. How can we help?
Do you know anything about the house's history? That might help you find the treasure.
So tell us more about what's been going on.
Do you know anything about the house's history? Maybe he doesn't charge very much, so he's probably a good bargain for Rose.
Or maybe he's just cute.
Bess, is that all you can think about?
No.
That makes sense. If the house was built before 1906, most of its records were probably destroyed in the earthquake.
But wouldn't he know at least something about it if he's some kind of expert on old things?
I'm sure he knows a lot about old stuff, just not architecture or houses. There's probably a lot of clues about the house in there.
Oh, what was in the desk? The bandit's treasure? Maybe there is treasure in the house. Valdez.
Golden gardenias? I thought they were all white.
That's it. Don't you see? The hotel has gold hidden in it, and Valdez is watching over it.
I don't think so, Bess.
Did you actually see the ghost?
Yeah, right. I'm sure it was some kind of trick.
Abby sounds suspicious.
Yeah, maybe she's hiding something. She probably knows more about the house than she's admitting.
Things are really starting to heat up, Nancy.
Ugh, and so are the bad puns.
Why would someone want to burn those papers?
I bet there was something in them that was important.
I'd take another look at the scene of the fire for any clues.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Who could it be?
Probably Charlie. Doesn't he spend most of his time down there?
Look around for clues. Who knows what he's up to? Do you think she's giving up and wants to cash in on the insurance money?
That doesn't make sense. Why risk that? Couldn't she just sell the house?
It's a possibility you should look into, Nancy. Find out what it is.
He's up to something, Nancy.
I'm sure it'd be okay if you looked in his briefcase.
Yeah, but it's probably locked.
Just look in his laptop for the password.
It sounds Chinese.
Call Emily. She'll know.
Really?
Now you can spy on people.
Yeah, and see who's reading what.
Or get a good look at the resident ghost.
Okay, we'll help you.
But since you're a senior detective...
We'll make the hints a little harder. We'll be more than happy to help.
But it might be more fun to figure it out on your own.
We'll help you out.
But to make it a little bit more challenging...
We'll make our hints a little bit more difficult.
I'm clueless. What do you think, Bess?
Nope, I'm stumped.
Give us a call later.
We might be more help then. Sorry, Nancy. You're on your own. I suspect.
You need to find some.
Remember, Nancy, Rose didn't invite you to talk on the phone all day.
Yeah, she's counting on you to help.
So, help out to scrape the paint.
You'll need the right tool.
Check out where Charlie may have used it last. The key to the attic.
It's probably as far away from the lock as possible. Find the key to the desk in the attic.
Or just sleep on it.
Play the bandit's treasure on the piano.
You never know what you'll get if you improvise a little bit. If there's a hidden message in the music,
Then only music can decode it.
spin the spindles on the stairway.
Spelling out the hidden name of the bandit. Don't be dumb.
And don't be a waiter.
Use the iron.
Talk to you later. I'm getting tired of this, aren't you, George?
Yeah, time to get some sleep. Good night!
Nancy, quick!
Put out that fire!
It's right under your nose! If only you could find all those ornamental tiles for the mantel.
We usually store ornaments in the attic.
That fireplace sure would look nice with all of its tiles in place.
Try reading up on it. You never know what you'll find in the library.
Match up the tiles in the correct sequence.
It's as easy as ABC.
The phoenix only rises
When the man is away.
Find a peephole behind the fireplace.
And check out what Lewis is doing.
Check out the book Lewis took.
Or just play computer games.
That's what we're doing. Did you ever find what Lewis found in that book? Sorry, Nancy, I don't speak Chinese.
Neither do I. Who does?
What in the world is gumbo foo?
You'll need to ask around to find that out. My room is looking good.
It's fun to redecorate. How's your room, Nancy?
Notice anything different?
The solution to the safe must be nearby.
Or scattered all over the house.
Or both. It looks like you've got a couple of puzzles to solve.
And you're the only one who can solve them. You did what? I can't believe it.
No wonder Rose asked you to leave.
Sounds like you really goofed up.
Just don't vandalize the next house you stay in, okay?
Especially if it's ours. You did what?
I unhooked the chandelier and it crashed to the floor.
I can't believe it.
No wonder Rose asked you to leave.
I don't know what got into me.
Sounds like you really goofed up.
Just don't vandalize the next house you stay in, okay?
Especially if it's ours. And you just let him get away?
I'm sure there was something you could have done to stop him.
Well, you probably had to act fast and didn't have enough time. And you just let him get away?
There was nothing I could do.
I'm sure there was something you could have done to stop him.
Well, you probably had to act fast and didn't have enough time.
I guess this mystery's solved. Unfortunately, the bad guy got away. This time.
What happened? Oh no!
Now you won't be able to solve the mystery.
That's too bad. And to think you could have saved the day.
And helped out Rose.
What happened?
I got caught snooping around, and Rose asked me to leave.
Oh no!
Now you won't be able to solve the mystery.
Better luck next time, I guess.
That's too bad. And to think you could have saved the day.
And helped out Rose.
I know. If only I had another chance. I'd be a lot more careful the next time around.
Bye, Nancy.
Bye.
Call us.
See ya.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, Nancy.
Goodbye. Have you met everyone?
See if Rose has any information on whoever is working in the house.
She probably has a schedule on her desk.
Talk to Rose and see if she has a renovation project for you.
Just remember to finish what you start.
Find the tool you need to scrape off those tiles upstairs. Try looking around the front of the house.
Find a way to get into that secret attic you found. It must contain important clues.
Search the whole house for a key.
Especially the basement. Open up that old desk in the attic.
Find a tool in the basement to help you pry open that loose bedpost in your room. It might contain the key to the desk.
Check out the music in the attic desk. I bet the different notes are a combination for the piano puzzle.
Take the piano roll you found and lay it on top of the music sheet in the attic. It could reveal an important clue.
Diego must be the solution for the spindle puzzle on the staircase.
See if that works.
Tie the iron you found in the attic to the broken dumbwaiter and see what it contains.
Maybe it's time to take a nap.
You sure have been busy, but you don't want to look too suspicious.
Look around in the parlor. The tool you need must be there somewhere.
You need to find all those fireplace tiles. Take a good look around the attic.
Check out the library shelves for more hidden clues and objects. Figure out how those tiles you found fit into the library's mantel.
They may open up a hidden passageway.
Pull on any gadgets around the fireplace to open the secret passageway.
That's how they do it in the movies.
Just make sure nobody sees you.
Look and see if Rose has Lewis's schedule on her desk. Enter the secret passageway right before he comes in and see what he's up to.
See what Lewis put in his briefcase. Solve that maze puzzle on his laptop to find the password to the combination lock.
Read the book that Lewis put in his briefcase. It probably holds an important clue. I'm not sure what gumbo foo means.
Neither do I.
Why don't you call Emily Foxworth and ask her? Talk to people about that gumbo foo.
Then check to see what Rose has to say.
Look where the tapestry was in your room.
The panels will probably give way if you push them in the right sequence.
If you're still stumped, find a book on the Chinese zodiac to find out the correct order. You've got to open that safe, Nancy.
The poem in your room must be the combination.
And those symbols on the safe are probably Chinese translations for some of the words in the poem. If the symbols are put into the same order as the words they represent in the poem,
Then maybe the safe will open.
remember the dollar bill with the eye and the pyramid? Open the pyramid box in the safe. It must hold the eye of the phoenix. Put the crystal in the phoenix's eye in the front entry. That should help you find where the gold is hidden.
But be careful, Nancy. If all else fails, remember, what goes up must come down.
Good luck.
Hi, you must be Nancy. My name's Charlie. Hey, Nancy. I really need to finish this up. Sorry. Hey, Nancy, I see you survived Abby's seance. Man, that Valdez guy sure sounded creepy. Hi, Nancy. What's up? Hey, Nancy. Hey, there's been another accident. You've got to believe me, I didn't have anything to do with it. I just hope Rose doesn't blame me for this one. Yeah, most of these Victorian mansions need a lot of work. But I don't mind getting my hands dirty, you know? This place will look great once it's finished. Yeah. Well, now that you're here, sure. No, I am. I mean, I know Rose is all concerned, but you've got to expect a few things to get out of control with these big projects. Accidents happen, you know? Listen, Nancy, I really need to get back to work. I'm repairing some floorboards, so be careful walking around. Rose was looking for you earlier. Maybe she has something for you to do. No, but I learned quickly. Even Lewis said so. Have you met him yet? He's helping Rose with the house. Yeah, he showed me how to do some of the remodeling work. I have no idea. People are blaming me, but it's not my fault. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this work. I'm taking classes at the local community college. I really like history. That's why it's neat to live. I mean, work here, because everything is so old. It's got real character. Not much. Lewis told me it was built in the 1880s and that it survived the 1906 earthquake. But I did buy it. Lewis told me that it was the wrong type and said he'd get another one. So I returned it. Everyone thinks I'm causing these accidents because I was always the last one there. But I had nothing to do with them. I can tell you this. There's something unusual going on in this house. It's a deal, and I will tell Rose. What do you need? I have seen some odd things down here, like Abby's seance. Once I saw Lewis tapping on the floors and walls. He could have been checking for termites, but it was kind of weird if you ask me. He's an antique dealer, I think. I guess he does consulting work for Rose, like on Victorian furnishings and stuff. No, he was sort of a hermit and never married. But he was extremely generous. He gave away thousands of dollars. Rose told me all about it. So how are things coming along? Anything I can help you out with? I'd really rather not talk about that right now. I've heard of a Diego Valdez. He was a wealthy rancher who lived in the 1800s. Yeah, I just read a book on him for my history class. Please don't tell Rose. I have no place to stay. I'd better not say any more. Sorry. I'd better not say any more. Sorry. I'd better not say any more. Sorry. She's not bad. She can be a little weird. I think she gets on Rose's nerves sometimes. She always does a disappearing act whenever Rose needs her to do some work. And I think Rose has sort of had it, you know? I'm not sure. Let's just say I wouldn't rule it out. But that's Abby's department, not mine. I was wondering where it was. Thanks a lot, Nancy. Luckily, I had a backup at the school. Nobody knows. Some historians say that the bank faked the robbery to collect the insurance money. It was definitely El Diablo. But no one knows who he was. In my opinion, El Diablo never existed. He was a composite of different outlaws from that era. I'm not sure. I've never heard that before. I'm not sure. I've never heard that before. I'm not sure. I've never heard that before. I just started to write it, so I don't know very much about the robbery. It's hard to separate fact from fiction, especially when most of the information is based on rumors. Yeah, I left one up in the entry somewhere. It should be there. Just look around, you'll find it. No, I sure don't. I know I had one before, but I forgot where I put it. Sorry. I was homeless, camping out in parks. One day I was looking for a place to get out of the rain, so I ducked under some bushes and found this hidden panel that led to the secret room. Nancy, I didn't mean any harm. I just needed a place to live. You mean without her knowing? I wouldn't if I were you. Happy's very touchy about her room. She guards it like Fort Knox. I think she's hiding something. She always gets these packages and won't let anyone open them for her. I've been working mostly in the basement, but I think I saw Abby go through those papers right before the fire. You mean like a trapdoor leading to a room with skeletons or something? No, I haven't. Well, except for, you know, my secret apartment. You're the second person who's asked me that. Lewis also wanted to know. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. It almost sounds like there's a hidden message in there, you know? You mean the dumbwaiter? It's like a mini elevator. It's broken right now, The elevator is stuck between the 2 floors and the pulley ropes are cut. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. See ya, see ya, see ya, see you around, see you around, see you around, see you around. Bye, Nancy, bye, Nancy, bye, Nancy, bye, 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 bye. So long, so long, so long. Thanks, thanks, thanks. I'll be here if you need me. I'll be here if you need me. I'll be here if you need me. Hasta la pasta, hasta la pasta, hasta la pasta. Later, later, later. And thanks, Nancy, for keeping my secret. I'll tell Rose.
Whoops!
What the?
We're sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. This is a recording.
This is Emily. Hello? Emily Foxworth speaking.
Hello, it's Nancy Drew.
Hi, Nancy. How's your case coming along?
Hi, Emily.
Nancy, I was just thinking about you. How are you?
Hi, it's Nancy.
Hello. How's the renovation work coming along? Hello?
Hi, Emily. It's Nancy Drew.
Hello?
Hi, Emily. It's Nancy.
Nancy, it's really too late to be calling me. Give me a call tomorrow morning.
Hi, Emily. It's Nancy.
Listen, my dear, I'm off to a photo shoot in Mexico, even though I don't know why they're sending me down there again. I just got back a couple of months ago, but who knows what goes on in my editor's mind, always thinking of new ways to make my life miserable. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes, I'll find out what that phrase means before I go, okay? Okay, good luck. Hi, you've reached Emily. Wait for the beep and talk to the machine. This is Emily.
Hi, Emily. It's Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew? I haven't heard from you in ages. How's Hannah in River Heights? You're not in San Francisco, are you, my dear? What time is it? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm up. So, Nancy, how are you? You're not in San Francisco, are you? Seems to be the trend these days. I'll bet you're staying in the Haight-Ashbury district. You know, you're lucky you caught me at home. I've been traveling most of these days, but after that crazy tour of Egypt. By the way, riding a camel is not as easy as it looks. My editor gave me an assignment right here in town. It'll be on the dragons of San Francisco. Chinese dragons. My editor thought this would make a great topic for a photo essay. The dragon is a very important symbol in Chinese culture. Well, the dragon is the only mythical creature in the Chinese zodiac, and it represents strength and prosperity. A golden dragon is considered very lucky because gold represents wealth. Oh, you know, the usual. Pyramids, bazaars, the Sphinx. But what are you up to, Nancy? Why'd you call? Is there anything I can help you out with? Oh, sure. Many of the Victorians have rooms with themes, usually colors or cultures. I once spent a night in a Victorian where each room had a bird theme. Don't laugh, but I stayed in the nuthatch room. They're named after Queen Victoria, who pretty much defined high society in the late 1800s. After the gold rush, San Francisco had a building boom, but most of the great Victorian mansions weren't built until the late 1800s. Nowadays, it's very popular to convert them into bed and breakfasts. The big one, yes. There was a huge increase in the city's population, and San Francisco had a reputation for being a lawless frontier town. Lots of people made a quick fortune here and lost it just as fast. No, I think you're in the Heights. The Haight has many Victorians that have been restored, and a lot of them have been converted into bed and breakfasts. No, I don't. I have a gift for gab, but not for languages. But I love languages, especially Chinese. Did you know that every word in Chinese is represented by a symbol called Hanzi? Can you imagine learning a new symbol for every new word? Oh, yes. Many of the early Victorians were destroyed in the fires after the Great Earthquake in 1906. It's often quite difficult to find out about a house's history before that time. There are 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac. Let's see if I can remember them. There's the dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog. Oh, what's the next one? Oh, yes. The boar, rat, ox, tiger, and, rabbit. Each one represents a year. So, for example, if you were born in 1930, then you would have been born in the year of the horse. Wait, don't go yet. How are you doing? Anything Emily Foxworth can help you out with? Oh, dear, am I talking too much? I get so distracted at times I tend to get carried away a bit. So how are you, Nancy? Why did you call? Is there anything I can help you out with? If you ever need something translated from Chinese, let me know. I've got oodles of friends who can help me. Oh, it doesn't surprise me. The Chinese have been an important part of San Francisco history for over 100 years. The symbols are called Hanzi, and each one represents a particular thing, or an idea, or an action. You find them all over on business cards, takeout cartons, artwork. Oh, that sounds valuable. It's hard to find old documents like that before 1906. No, but it sounds like some turn-of-the-century charity. There were all these private agencies that helped out widows and orphans before the government took on that role. Bandit's Treasure. Oh, you mean the play? The Rep did a season where they performed old local plays, including The Bandit's Treasure. I've never seen it, but I hear the music is fantastic. That name sounds very familiar. Let me look into it. Louis Chandler. Nope, never heard of him. Oh, sure, she was a good friend of Lotta Crabtree, another popular actress in the late 1800s. As I recall, she opened up a big hotel. What was it called? The Hotel Mandrake or the Oriental? I forget. I seem to remember that she did, but I'm not sure. She became sort of a recluse after her theater days. Oh no, this one was downtown. It was very big, but I think it burned down. No. But I've read that many houses were only partially rebuilt after the Great Earthquake, closing off damaged rooms from the rest of the house. Sounds Chinese to me. Why don't you ask everyone what they think it means? It may have something to do with the house. In the meantime, I'll ask my friends about it. Gumbo Foo. That's what San Francisco was called back during the Spanish colonial period, but no one calls it that anymore. Oh, you could write a book on that. The Spanish were the first Europeans to settle this area during the 1700s, and it stayed that way until after the Mexican-American War when it was handed over to the United States. It couldn't have happened at a better time because gold was discovered outside the city not more than 2 years later. Yeah, you'd think that, but I've never heard of any in San Francisco except for Treasure Island out in the bay. But that's named after the book, not some legend. No. After that whole incident with Carlotta in the 1700s, you don't find that name around here anymore. Yes, Carlotta Valdez. Didn't you ever see Vertigo? What's up with you kids these days? Call anytime. Keep me posted, okay? Goodbye, Nancy. Good night. I hope we'll talk soon. If you think of anything else, give me a call in the morning. Talk to you later. Oh, yes, it's pretty late. You should get some sleep. Didn't you just call me? Honey, you've already won the game. What are you calling me for? Honey, you've already won the game. What are you calling me for? Yes, no. I have no idea. I'm not certain. Okay. Really? You don't say. Nah. I don't think so. What? What do you mean? Maybe.
Please sit down.
We really don't have time for this, whatever you call it.
Let us begin. We are gathered here tonight to contact the shades of those who have passed before us. Let us join hands creating an unbroken circle for the spirits to enter. Gaze into the crystal ball. It will answer all of our questions. A presence wishes to be known. Who has called me forth from the great beyond? We have. Are you the spirit known as Valdez? I was once called that in the world of the living. Are you the spirit who has caused these accidents? Oh! I have come back searching for her. My wife. Where can she be?
What do you want from us?
The spirits have spoken. The seance is over.
Are you finished? We've got a busy day tomorrow, and no more time for these games, Abby. And make sure you blow out the candles on your way up. I don't want to wake up and find the house on fire.
I have come back searching for her, my wife. Where can she be? My wife. Where can she be?
Drew Residence, Hannah Gruen speaking. You have reached the Drew Residence. Please leave your name and number after the tone. Thank you. Drew Residence, Hannah Gruen speaking.
Hi, Hannah.
Nancy, how are you? And how's Rose? Good morning, how are you? Yes, Nancy, what can I do for you? Hi, Nancy. I'm so happy you're out there. But I'm worried about all the accidents she's having. There's just been so many. Doesn't she look great? You'd never think she was a day over 50. I met Rose at the River Heights Community Theater after she retired from the school district, don't you remember? Abby was working with us, too. Have you met Abby yet? She doesn't say much, but I know they've become worse and worse. That's one of the reasons why I asked you to visit her, to see if everything is all right. I don't know. Rose is under a lot of pressure to open that bread and breakfast on time, and I'm worried that it may be too much for her. Rose spent her entire life savings on the house. If this doesn't work out, she won't have 30 more years to earn the money back. In a month or two. Abby has always been a little dramatic, but Rose tells me she really believes in that spiritualism stuff. A waste of time, if you ask me. She's a friend of Rose who helped her buy the house. She's very interesting. Eccentric, I suppose is the word. I don't know Abby very well, but I never felt comfortable with her. I can't put my finger on it, but she just seemed, I don't know, like she wasn't who she really was, like she was putting on an act. Oh, no, I didn't mean it in a bad sense. Abby has always been very helpful to Rose, and they've always gotten along very well. I could never get a straight answer out of her. She was always pretending to be someone she obviously wasn't. I don't think she did it to be rude. She was probably just practicing for some part. Rose told me he's a fine young fellow, but a little rough around the edges. I believe she said he's studying history at a community college. Nothing particular. I know she's concerned that Charlie may have inadvertently caused some of them, but she doesn't think it was intentional. I don't remember the name, but I do remember that a young man had inherited it from some distant relative and had to sell it very quickly to pay the inheritance tax. He accepted Rose's bid, even though it was very low. Oh, yes, Rose has mentioned Louis several times. She's really fond of him and is very grateful for his help. Oh, no, they're not dating or anything, but I can tell Rose likes him very much. He's found some Victorian antiques at good prices, and he's making sure the renovations are done correctly. Seance? Good heavens, no. She never mentioned the name. Haunted? No, Rose is a very practical person. I couldn't imagine that she believes in ghosts. Although she's told me she's been a bit spooked these past couple of weeks. I shouldn't be saying this, but Rose told me there's been some strange things going on. She's very fond of roses and likes to have fresh flowers about, but as soon as she puts them out, they die. It's very odd. Well, you didn't think it was for real, did you? Don't worry, Rose, about this. She has enough on her mind already. I just can't imagine why Abby would go to all that trouble. Perhaps it does. Nancy, keep this a secret until you get to the bottom of these strange events. Don't even tell Rose. The less everyone knows, the more you can investigate without creating suspicion. Keep it well hidden, Nancy. Whoever is behind these accidents may know about the treasure. Good luck and be careful. Thank goodness! I just hope nobody was hurt. Rose told me she was afraid that house was a fire trap. I'm just so glad you were there to save the place. No, not at all. Rose loves that house. It's her dream come true. I can't imagine her doing something like that. She's very determined to open that B&B. Strange accidents? Secret rooms? Seances? The more I hear about this house, the more I wonder what Rose has gotten herself into. That doesn't sound very suspicious. What was the book about? That's nice, dear. I have no idea what that means. But give Emily a call. She knows all about San Francisco legends. That's terrible. He probably has no place to stay. Well, I should let you get back to your renovation work. Thank you for calling. There's probably no reason for concern. But be on the lookout for anything unusual. Well, all right, dear. Let me know if you need anything. Nancy, this is awful news. Louis stole the treasure hidden in Rose's house. Rose really could have used that money. Well, don't be so hard on yourself. Oh, if only things had turned out differently. Nancy, what's wrong? Did something happen? Rose is very touchy about people's privacy. You should have known better. Well, better luck next time. Goodbye, dear. Don't work too hard. Have a good day. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Nancy, I thought you'd be home by now. What are you still doing in San Francisco? I thought you'd finished your case. I just made a wonderful breakfast of ham, sausage, biscuits, and your father's favorite butter and cream hollandaise sauce. Yes. No. I have no idea. I'm not certain. Okay. Really? You don't say. No. I don't think so. What? What do you mean? Maybe.
I can't use that here.
Aha! That's it! I'll be right there. What are you doing in there? Hey! Get me out of here! So long, losers. I knew it! There must be over $1 million in here. What? Hey! Hello. I was so wrapped up in my book, I didn't hear you come in. My name is Louis Chandler. Hello, Nancy. Ah, Nancy. What a shame to have lost those papers. And to think that we almost lost the house. Rose is very fortunate to have you here. I'm sorry, but I really must finish my work. Perhaps Abby can assist you. Yes, Nancy. Yes, well, I'm very glad you're here. Actually, I'm a bit in the dark about this particular property. However, as far as Victorian mansions go, I don't see anything remarkable about this one. Does she? There have been documented cases of hauntings in older mansions. And I might add, not all of the hauntings were by friendly spirits. Yes, I'd like to think so, but I'm an antique dealer, and a client told me that Rose and Abby had recently acquired the estate. I'm an authority on the Victorian era, so they were only too happy to let me use the library in exchange for my advice on the renovations. Research. This library contains many rare books and documents that predate the Great Earthquake. It was quite a find for a student of the Victorian period, such as myself. Accidents? I know Rose has mentioned some inconveniences like that wall covering and the light supplies, but I would hardly call those accidents. I'm sorry, but I'm quite busy at the moment, and although I'd like to talk, I really don't have the time. Please, excuse me. Not for my purposes, no. But they must have had some sentimental value. No, I'm afraid not. I'm somewhat isolated here. With these thick walls, I barely hear anything. E. Valdez. No, I've never heard of that name. But I'll jot it down and let you know if I come across it anywhere. Of course, although it never actually occurred. Fictional history, a folk legend, a complete myth. But nonetheless, it's still a fascinating story, even though it isn't true. It's a gallery, not a store. And it's called Chandler Interiors, specializing in the Victorian period. I have clients from all over the world, and if I don't have what they're looking for, I find it. That's hard to say. The house has been renovated many times, but several of its original features, such as the saloon and staircase, seem to indicate that it may have been a hotel. Unfortunately, there are no records on this house before 1906. No, I haven't. I hardly ever leave the library. Yes, it's a mythical, bird-like creature that builds a nest every 500 years and then sets itself on fire to rise forth, reborn from its ashes. It's a very popular symbol in the Bay Area. In fact, there's one on the main staircase. I see. As I recall, it means House of Great Books. After the Great Earthquake, many books and documents were stored in private homes to save them from the fires. The Chinese called those houses Gumbo Fu. No, I don't. Now I remember. I was to purchase an antique fire screen, but never found a suitable match. I feel just terrible. I must apologize to Rose about this. No, I haven't. But I have found hidden rooms in other Victorians. I leave that decision up to her. She's put an extraordinary amount of time and money into it, and I'm not sure if she can afford what it'll take to complete the renovations. But whatever her decision, I will assist her however I can. Where did you hear that? No doubt the book I have locked in my briefcase. I thought someone had been in there. I think I'll need to have a word with Rose about this. Yes, I certainly do. She was a very popular actress in the late 1800s. She was very generous and left all of her money to the Ladies' Protection Society. Hidden treasure? Now that sounds straight out of some mystery novel. No, these rooms were hidden for purely cosmetic reasons. Unsightly areas, such as attics, were often concealed so as not to ruin the overall decor of the house. A popular charity in the early 1900s. They helped widows and orphans. No, I haven't. Oh, that one. Yes, it's just some cheap Chinatown souvenir. Certainly. He's rough around the edges, but he's reliable and learns very quickly. He's just what Rose and I need. I'm sure she played some roles where she had to dress as a man, but she was quite an elegant woman, quite fashionable for her time. Goodbye, Nancy. Goodbye. Nice to see you again. Thank you, Nancy. Good day. What are you trying to do? Why, you good-for-nothing sassafras.
How do you know I don't believe in ghosts? And you do? I'm convinced that this house is haunted. I'm just not sure who is responsible. Why do you say that? Why would someone want to destroy those papers? Does your intuition tell you who could be behind these recent accidents? Do you think these spirits are responsible for the recent accidents? Who could this restless spirit be? Well, you'll be the first to know if I find a ghost floating over my bed. Do you have any more information on Mr. Valdez? What do you mean? I found out how you rigged the seance table with a projector. That was a pretty good show you gave. Have you been creating these accidents to help your promotion? Are you the ghost who is haunting this place? Do you mean Charlie? Have you been creating these accidents to help promote the bed and breakfast? What kind of person is Charlie? He seems to feel bad about all of these mishaps. Have you seen the poem in my room? Do you know much about Louis? It must be great having your own expert on Victorians. How long have you known Rose? I saw those papers in the parlor. Where did you find them? Was there anything about the house in them? Historical display? Were there any photographs with the papers? I heard someone crying in the hallway. Was that you? Yes, it was. How did you know? Do you think it was a ghost? Do you know who this phantom could be? Do you know what gumbo foo is? Do you have any idea who this woman might be? Was there anything else in the photograph that was odd? A woman in men's clothing? That sounds strange. I found out how you wired the house to make it haunted. The only ghost who walks these halls is you, Abby. Why did you go to all the trouble to do this? Are you sure you haven't caused any of these accidents with your stunts? Does Charlie live around here? Is Charlie from the Bay Area? Between apartments? That seems kind of odd. You mentioned Charlie was suspicious. How so? Did the house come with a lot of furniture? Do you know where I can find a paint scraper? Have you noticed the dead flowers in the parlor? I'll let you get back to what you were doing. I met the resident handyman, Charlie. He's pretty young, and I don't think he has much experience. Rose is really lucky. This antique dealer, Louis Chandler, is helping her out, although he doesn't know very much about the house's history. Listen to this. I found a secret attic and an old desk. It looks like no one's been in there for years. An old playbill for a musical called The Bandit's Treasure. I found some letters written by E. Valdez. I guess he was the owner of a hotel named the Golden Gardenia. Abby hosted a seance and contacted the spirit who's haunting the house. There was a small fire in the house, but luckily I put it out. But the old papers that Abby found were destroyed. I also found out that Rose recently took out a large insurance policy on the house. I found a secret room in the basement, and it looks like someone is living there. I was spying on Louis and saw him take a book from the library. He put it in his briefcase. Do either of you know what gumbo foo means? I found a hidden passageway in the library. Can you guys give me a clue? I'm not sure what to do next. I should get going. Talk to you later. Nice to meet you. Rose and Abby really have their hands full with this house. Hi, Charlie. You must have a lot of experience to work on such a big house. Rose told me that there have been a lot of accidents lately. What do you think is causing them? I guess. Were you down here then? I don't remember seeing you. Have you ever heard of him? Valdez, I mean. Rose mentioned the fire screen you were supposed to get. Charlie, are you sure there isn't more to these accidents that you're not telling me? Do you think you'll be open in time with all of these accidents and delays? I can see that. But what do you like to do when you're not renovating Victorian mansions? Any hobbies? What do you know about the history of this house? You don't sound convinced. What do you think caused all these accidents? What do you know about the history of this place? Sure, but why so many? I guess. I take it you have a lot of experience with historical renovations. No, I haven't met him yet. Does he work for Rose? Do you have any idea why there's been so many accidents on this project? Who's Louis? And that's all there is to it? So, do you have any proof? What makes you say that? What other secrets do you know about this house? I'm guessing you saw Abby's seance. What else have you seen from that two-way mirror? Have you met Louis Chandler? What do you know about him? What do you think is causing all these accidents? Can you tell me more about the accidents? Have you ever heard of someone named Valdez? Was he from San Francisco? Did he have any children? Charlie, I know your secret. I know you're living in the hidden room behind the saloon. How did you find the room? Why do you live in there? How do you like working for Abby? Abby thinks the house is haunted. Do you? How does Abby get on Rose's nerves? Charlie, I found this diskette. I think it's yours. That must be an interesting paper you're writing. Did you ever figure out whatever happened to the gold? Was it El Diablo who stole the gold? Or someone else? Whatever happened to the gold? Charlie, do you know where I can find a paint scraper? I really think you should tell Rose. But I'll keep your secret if you help me out. Do you know how I can get into Abby's room? Why is she so protective? Who was the last person you saw in the parlor before the fire? Had you come across any hidden passageways down here? Have you seen the poem in the Chinese room? What is that small closet in the hallway for? I'll let you get back to your renovation. Hi, Emily. It's Nancy Drew. Hi, Emily. It's Nancy. Hello. It's Nancy Drew. Hi, Emily. Hi, it's Nancy. Actually, I am. I'm helping one of Hannah's friends, Rose Green, renovate this wonderful old Victorian mansion. She wants to open up a bed and breakfast. I sure am. I'm staying with Rose Green, a friend of Hannah's, in a Victorian mansion. I'm helping out with renovations. I just wanted to give you a call and let you know I'm in town. I'll talk to you later. I'm not sure. The place is located on California Lane. 4653, I think, is the number. The address is 4653 California Lane. Is that anywhere near there? I hope you won't be riding them. What were you doing in Egypt? Dragons of San Francisco sounds exotic. What kind of dragons are you researching? Why is that? So it seems. My room is full of Chinese decorations. The room where I'm staying in has a couple of dragons in it. I know you've traveled to China, but do you speak Chinese? Tell me more about the Chinese zodiac. You're kidding. Why do they call these mansions Victorians? Well, I guess that beats the turkey room. Are there a lot of Victorian mansions here in San Francisco? The gold rush was in 1849, right? Were many of these mansions destroyed by earthquakes? Can you tell me about the Chinese writing system? I seem to come across a lot of Chinese symbols. I found some old papers in the house, plus a page from a phone directory dated 1894. Have you ever heard of the Ladies' Protection Society? What do you know about the Bandit's Treasure? Have you heard of an antique dealer named Louis Chandler? Have you heard of an actress, Lizzie Applegate? Did she open any other hotels? Was it in this neighborhood? Is it still around? Have you ever come across hidden rooms in Victorian mansions? Do you know what the words gumbo foo mean? Do you know where Yerba Buena town is? Tell me about the Spanish and San Francisco. With all of that gold around, I'd imagine there's a lot of buried treasure in this town. Do you know anything about Valdez? Carlotta? I should get going. Goodbye, Emily. I just wanted to give you a call and let you know I'm in town. I'll talk to you later. Can you guys give me a clue? I'm not sure what to do next. I should get going. Talk to you later. Hi, Hannah. Great. I'm really glad you had Rose invite me out here. Her house is so beautiful. Fine, but I didn't realize she was so young. How did you meet her? What has Rose said about them? I didn't realize Rose was so young. How did you meet her? No, I haven't. Tell me about her. Yes, she thinks the house is haunted. Rose mentioned some accidents she's had. What do you know about them? Do you suspect there's something more to these accidents? This mansion must have cost a fortune. How did she afford it? I imagine the mansion was very expensive. When is she planning to open it? Rose mentioned some accidents she's been having. What do you know about them? Abby is very strange. She really is convinced there's a ghost somewhere in the house. Do you think Rose should be concerned about Abby? I met Rose's handyman, Charlie. He seems nice. Has Rose said anything about him and the accidents? History. Oh, that reminds me. Do you know who Rose bought the house from? Did you know Rose has a resident expert on Victorians? Oh? Is there more between them than what I'm seeing? How has he been helpful? Have you heard about the seance Abby hosted for Rose and me? Has Rose ever mentioned someone by the name of Valdez? Has Rose ever mentioned that the house may be haunted? Do you know the name of the person who sold Rose the house? Spooked? Abby faked the seance. She rigged a table with a projector. I just found a hidden attic. I wonder if it has anything to do with all these accidents. I'm certain there's treasure buried somewhere here. And I think I found the treasure map. Now, if only I can decipher it and see where it leads me. There was a fire in the parlor, but I put it out in time. Hannah, do you think Rose could have started the fire to collect the insurance on the house? This house is full of surprises. I found a secret room in the basement where someone's been living. Louis is up to something. I saw him take a book from the library. Louis's book mentioned that this house was once called Gumbo Foo in the 1800s. It turns out Charlie is the one living in the basement. Yes, I feel just terrible that I let him get away. I guess I let her down.
Nancy, this is awful news. Louis stole the treasure hidden in Rose's house.
Yes, I feel just terrible that I let him get away.
Rose really could have used that money.
I guess I let her down.
Well, don't be so hard on yourself. Oh, if only things had turned out differently.
Abby caught me in her room. And now Rose wants me to leave. She says she can't trust me. I suppose so.
Nancy, what's wrong? Did something happen?
Abby caught me in her room, and now Rose wants me to leave. She says she can't trust me.
Rose is very touchy about people's privacy. You should have known better.
I suppose so.
Well, better luck next time.
I should get back to work. Goodbye. I just wanted to let you know I arrived safely. Goodbye, Hannah.
It's getting late. Time for bed.
Dear Bess, hello from stormy San Francisco. This time I'm staying in a beautiful Victorian mansion. You'd love the room I'm in. It's full of old Chinese furnishings and some interesting knickknacks. The owner of the house, Rose Gruen, is a friend of Hannah and asked me to come out and help her with some renovation work. She and her friend Abby hope to turn the place into a bed and breakfast by next month. But from what I gathered, Rose isn't sure if she can open in time. Ever since they started the renovations, they've had a lot of accidents. Could it be just bad luck, or is there something more sinister at work? I'm sure I'll find out. Love, Nancy. She sounds busy. I don't want to disturb her. I don't want to bother her. I should wait until he leaves. I should wait until I'm alone. I don't want to wake her. It's too late. I should return the spider so Abby doesn't suspect anything. It won't fit. He's hiding something in his briefcase. I can't see where I'm going. It's so dark in here. Lewis is up to something. I did it! It's stuck! And to think I was standing on it all along. Time to get back on the case. Morning, Nancy. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Talk about sleeping in. Sheesh! I think I'm turning into a vampire. Ooh, I must have needed a lot of beauty sleep. It must be the jet lag that's making me so sleepy. Rise and shine! I could use some coffee. I sure am keeping odd hours. Another day, another dollar. Boy, that sure sounded corny. Listen, my child, to this story of dreams, and know that the beginning is more difficult than it seems. When the 10 daughters are reunited in order, when the 4-sided box loses its border, when the eye of the phoenix is in your hand, when the bird of fire can see again, when the moon sleeps and the sun plays, the king of the sky will shine his ray, and hidden beneath a river of colors will lie a gate to golden wonders. Listen, my child, to this story of dreams, and know that the beginning is more difficult than it seems. When the 10 daughters are reunited in order, when the 4-sided box loses its border, when the eye of the phoenix is in your hand, when the bird of fire can see again, when the moon sleeps and the sun plays, the king of the sky will shine his ray, and hidden beneath a river of colors, golden wonder. It's stuck. It's locked. There's something hidden here. Is there more to this music than what I'm seeing? Something's missing here. The rope is cut. The cover is on too tight. I need a paint scraper. It's good to know it's here. Where's the fire? I need a tape. I need a disc. Hi, it's Nancy Drew. Welcome to my latest cyber mystery, Message in a Haunted Mansion. Choose your difficulty level to start off. If you're new to adventure games, you might want to click on the tutorial button to learn how to play the game. In this game, you get to fill my shoes and try to solve the mystery. You'll see the world through my eyes and choose what I do. And I can do many things. I always carry my magnifying glass around to search for clues. When it turns red, click your mouse button to see what I have found. Try it out. Move your mouse around and find an area where the magnifying glass turns red, and then click on it. Very good. You can use the red magnifying glass to open and close things, pick up objects, move things, and get around the different places you'll visit. When you want to go back to where you came from, or turn around, find where your cursor turns into a U-turn at the bottom of the screen, and click your mouse button. Try it now. Good job! When you're in the center of a room, you can turn around in a circle to see the whole room. Move your cursor to the edge of the screen and click your mouse button. Now, turn around and click on my suitcases. All right. When you find something useful in the game, You can pick it up and carry it around with you. I'll give you a key to my suitcase to show you what these objects look like. Pretty neat, huh? To use these objects, just move your mouse over them in your inventory box to the right and click on them. Notice your cursor will turn into that item. Just click on the area where you want to use it. Pretty neat, huh? To use these objects, just move your mouse over them in your toolbox to the right and click on them. Notice your cursor will turn into that item. Just click on the area where you want to use it. Try it out. Pick up the key and open my suitcase. Très bien, as they say in France. One more lesson and you'll have all of my moves down. In the game, you can talk to people by choosing a reply in the text box next to the toolbox. The person you're talking to will appear in blue, and my replies will be in white. Just click one of my responses to see what they'll say. Try it out.
Hello there. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm not doing so hot. Ever since my parachuting accident, I've had a limp. Great! If there's a lot of words in the text box, those bars to the right move up and down. Sometimes people have too much to say. Well, as long as it's not catching, it's fine by me. Whatever. Okay, we're almost done. At the bottom left is a little pocket watch where you can check the time in the game. If you make a major mistake, like blow up something or get hurt, you can always select Second Chance from the main menu to start where you left off. And if you get stuck, try calling Bess or George. So that's it. I'll return you to the player challenge screen where you can start the game. Junior Detective is a little easier, so you might want to start there. Good luck. Gold! Louis, I've got to stop him before he gets away. It's missing an eye. Dear Bess, I'm just about finished with my renovation work and counting out all of those gold coins. Louis was behind all of the accidents, hoping to pressure Rose into selling the house so he could find the treasure himself. Although Rose and Abby may not have a legal right to the gold, the bank the coins were stolen from will still give them a reward for finding it. The house also has gotten a lot of publicity with all of the news stories, and the place is booked solid for the first month of its opening. I guess a haunted bed and breakfast with hidden treasures is all the rage these days, even if there are no such things as ghosts. I think. See you soon, Nancy. Gumbo foo? What's that? Fire. Gold! And to think I was standing on it all along.
Ha ha ha!
Ah!
Too bad no one will ever find out about it.
I didn't mean to startle you. I'm Nancy Drew. I came out to help Rose and Abby with the renovations. Pleased to meet you. My name is Nancy Drew. Are you a friend of Rose? Did you hear anything in the parlor before the fire started? Were the papers very valuable? Are you a friend of Rose? Are you researching the history of this house? Abby thinks the mansion is haunted. What are you using the library for? Do you think a ghost is causing these accidents? You must know a lot about the house's history. Do you believe the house is haunted? Abby seems to think so. What do you think could be the cause of these accidents Rose has been having? What are you looking for in these books? Did you hear anything in the parlor before the fire? I was wondering whether you knew anything about someone named E. Valdez. Have you ever heard of the Great Christmas Gold Robbery? What kind of antique store do you own? Was this house once a hotel? Have you seen a paint scraper anywhere? Do you know what a phoenix is? Do you know why the fireplace in the parlor didn't have a screen? Have you found any secret passageways in this house? Really? Did you ever find hidden treasure in these rooms? What were these rooms used for? Do you think Rose should sell the house? Do you know what gumbo foo means? I came across it in a book. I read about it in a magazine. Do you know who Lizzie Applegate was? What was the Ladies Protection Society? Do you think Charlie is doing a good job? Did Lizzie ever wear men's clothing? I won't keep you any longer. I sure am. This house must have quite a history. What do you know about it? I can't wait. Last night, you mentioned some accidents. What exactly happened? Okay, but I still haven't finished it. I finished it! I'm still working on them. I'm all finished. But you should know what I found. Last night, you mentioned some accidents. What exactly happened? A saloon? Oh, this place really does have a history. Who was the original owner? I can understand your frustration, Rose. Do you think it's just bad luck? That's too bad. And you've done such a terrific job with the renovation. Do you know much about the original owner? I can see you're busy. I'll let you go. What advice? What did the fire department say? What was Lewis's advice? I already fixed it. Sort of. Where did Abby find those papers that are in the parlor? How did you find Charlie? How do you know Lewis? How did you meet Abby? Excuse me for prying, but why did you spend so much money to insure the house against fire? Have you heard of someone named Lizzie Applegate? What is Abby planning for tonight? Have you found any rainbow designs in the house? Do you think Charlie is responsible for these accidents? Do you know why there's a speaker in the air vent? Whose laptop is that in the library? Why are there dead roses in the parlor? Are you missing any papers?
Lewis, are you in there? We really don't have time for this, whatever you call it. What do you want from us? We've got a busy day tomorrow. And no more time for these games, Abby. And make sure you blow out the candles on your way up. I don't want to wake up and find the house on fire. Good night, Nancy. What's that? Can I go now? Are you finished? Is that it? You've got to be kidding me. Hello, Nancy. I'm very glad you could come out here. We can really use your help, seeing how far we are behind schedule. Are you all ready to do some renovation work? How's that inlay puzzle coming along? Hello, Nancy. Sorry about that seance last night. Why couldn't Abby conjure up some helpful spirit? Like an electrician. How are the tiles coming along? Hello, I'm glad you dropped by. You know, I wanted to tell you that you'll be alone in the house for a while. Everyone is going to the winter festival. And Charlie's studying for finals. I also took down one of the tapestries in your room for dry cleaning, and what was the other thing? Oh, a messenger dropped off a letter for you. I put it in your room. Not very much, but Abby found some interesting old papers that might give us clues about the history of the house. They're in the parlor if you want to take a peek. There's also an old-time saloon in the basement, so it's possible the house was once a hotel. I don't know where to begin. It started out with some small but irritating things. But then the scaffolding collapsed, and just last week we had a gas leak. I really don't know whether I can stand much more of this. I would love to have a week without any accidents. I'm not one to believe in bad luck, but it's been one thing after another. Maybe Charlie doesn't have the expertise for these renovations, but his rates are so affordable. I sometimes wonder, though, if this old house would be worth more burned to the ground. Almost all the records on these old houses were destroyed in the Great Earthquake, so we don't know much about the origins of the place. Abby thinks all our accidents were caused by some restless spirit or a curse. Enough chit-chat. Hannah tells me you're a real pro with puzzles. Take a look in the corner. Those wood tiles should fit inside the inlay pattern of the floor. Abby and I tried for hours, but it's just too complicated. I'm sorry for not introducing you around, but everyone posts their schedule here in the dining room. It's kind of like Command Central. Let me know how far you get with that puzzle. And Thanks again for helping us, Nancy. Wonderful! But now I've got something else for you. I set up a ladder upstairs so you can chip off the broken tiles on the hallway ceiling. You'll need to look around for a chisel or paint scraper for the job. I'm not sure where Charlie keeps them. I don't know. Abby is very theatrical, but sometimes I'm not sure when she's acting and when she's not. She insists that this place is haunted. I'm even starting to hear things, but maybe I'm spending too much time in this house. I talk to everybody in the house, and none of them can figure out what caused the fire. Maybe I should take Lewis's advice and cut my losses before it's too late. He has a client who might want to buy the place. Someone with more experience and money to finish all of the renovations. They think the fire was caused by sparks from the fireplace since it doesn't have a screen. And I specifically told Charlie to buy one. How could he have forgotten? No, I am bound and determined to stick with this house no matter what. Nothing can drive me away. I don't care if it's fires, earthquakes, or Mr. Valdez with his gang of ghosts. I'm sure it's very interesting. But unless it's really important, I've got other things to worry about. Let's see. If you're any good at fixing things, there's a dumbwaiter in the hallway that's not working. You have? Well then, I don't have anything for you to do right now. Why don't you take a break? There are a lot of nooks and crannies to explore. Maybe someone else could use your help. She told me they were in her room, which surprised me since it was completely empty when we moved in. Now the room you're staying in was crammed with furniture. I think most of it was original with the house. He just showed up one day. It was really odd. I remember Abby and I were in the basement talking about hiring someone to help us. 20 minutes later, the doorbell rang and there stood Charlie, looking for work. He stopped by one day to introduce himself. He seemed awfully curious about our property, but he's an antique dealer specializing in the Victorian period. He's been extremely helpful advising us on authentic decor. She was the drama coach back in River Heights, and we worked on a couple of plays together. My bid on this house was too low, so she pitched in her savings to help me get the place. If it weren't for Abby, I couldn't have afforded this place. For protection. I've put my entire life savings into this house, and if it goes up in smoke, I'll lose everything. Funny you should ask. Yes, I did misplace some old letters, but I'm sure they'll show up soon. No, I haven't. She's putting on some kind of seance tonight to contact these ghosts or whatever she thinks is causing all of these accidents. Rainbows? No. Not that I can remember. Abby thinks he is, but I'm not sure. I really trust in him, and I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. He told me he just moved here from Iowa, but doesn't have a place of his own yet. He said he's staying with friends. Oh, Abby told me she's rigging up some kind of PA system in here. To tell you the truth, I really can't stand elevator music. Lewis leaves it here, but he doesn't like people to use it. He said he's had trouble with viruses lately. Are they dead again? For some reason, they seem to die right after I buy them. It's strange. I've never seen that happen before. It must be the weather or something. Don't work too hard. So long. Bye, Nancy. Take care. Bye. Goodbye. Thanks for your help. Nancy, I'm ashamed of you. Everyone in this house expects some degree of privacy, and you have obviously violated that trust. Your behavior is completely unacceptable. No arguments. I cannot stand to have someone so inconsiderate in my house. I've arranged for Abby to drop you off at the airport. I'm sorry it has to work out this way. Goodbye, Nancy. I'm ashamed of you. No arguments. I cannot stand to have someone so inconsiderate in my house. I've arranged for Abby to drop you off at the airport. I'm sorry it has to work out this way. Goodbye.
I see you.
You have become completely distracted by all of the spiritualism stuff. I think you were in the parlor, either burning candles or using that flash paper.
Well, excuse me for trying to find some ways to promote this place. It's good business sense.
Well, I guess we won't have to worry about advertising if the mansion burns down.
You've given up. You want the mansion to burn to the ground. That way you won't have to worry about losing your investment. You'll just collect the insurance.
How dare you? Are you accusing me of fraud?
I'm sorry, Rose. I don't know. It's just all these accidents and now this. I know you're dedicated to this house. I'm sorry for doubting you.
Let's just finish up these curtains. I think the stress of the last few weeks has finally gotten the better of us.
Who has called me forth from the great beyond? I was once called that in the world of the living. A long time ago, I built this house for my beautiful wife, but sailed home to Spain before it was finished and never returned. But now I have come back searching for her, my wife. Where can she be?